Most people spend most of their lives trying to explain to themselves and even prove to themselves and others why they are right. Today I want to talk to you about why this is probably the worst thing you could do if you actually want to succeed, that being in life, in business, in a relationship, with your family, it doesn't really matter. If you want to achieve a sense of fulfillment and pride even in how you make decisions and the decisions that you actually make, my suggestion is actually that you start to attempt to always destroy your ideas. To have ideas is fairly easy. What's difficult is to come up with ideas that don't destroy themselves. In other words, look, I could go out there now and choose, have an idea, if you will, to drink myself to death. I could choose to drink every day. I could choose to eat McDonald's every day. I could choose to do all sorts of illicit activities. The problem is that I know that those choices would lead to a problem, many problems, multiple issues and struggles that I would not see coming if I were just going with the first idea that pops into my head as I grow older. But if I try to destroy my ideas, I will make sure that only the indestructible ones will survive. So if I think I'm going to drink every day of my life, and then I proceed to challenge that idea with, okay, what would happen if I do that? What's the worst case scenario? Is it worth doing? Well, the worst case scenario is probably that I will die younger than I would like, in more pain, most likely. I will alienate a lot of people in my life because an addiction does exactly that. I will not be happy because alcohol is a depressant. It's not worth the couple of hours of happiness that I would induce via alcohol. If I'm making a decision in terms of my parenting, I also need to try to destroy that idea. If I'm making a decision in terms of my business, the first thing I try to do is destroy that idea. And the idea is that you brainstorm with yourself. So what happens is that I'm looking at a problem. And I look at this problem from a very strategic way. For every problem there is a solution. Maybe the solution is to let go of that problem by eliminating the task altogether, but often, more often than not, that's not the case. The case is that you need a new perspective. So if you're looking at a problem, first of all you need to understand where the problem came from. What is it that you did not do that led to that problem? And then you try to list those things. Okay, I didn't do enough phone calls, I didn't respond to emails on time, I didn't do the marketing campaign that I said I would. And now you can think further. You go like, okay, but if I do those phone calls, how will I go about them? What is it that can happen during that phone call that will lead to disaster? How can I avoid that? The marketing campaign, I didn't do it, but perhaps because I was insecure about it. Okay, what's the best option here? I launch a marketing campaign, I put a few pounds into it, and then what? How will I succeed? How will that marketing campaign actually do for me what I need? Perhaps not answering those questions is what leads to two things. One, procrastination because you are insecure in regards to your decision making. And two, you actually pull the trigger, you make a decision, but it was so unchallenged that the decision destroyed itself. So I would suggest that you always try to challenge yourself before the decisions you make challenge you back. Because they will. And even when you try to destroy your ideas constantly and consistently, you will find problems, you will find obstacles. The good thing is that as you get used to brainstorming with yourself, you will be able to do that also on the job. Meaning, yes, you do all this simulation, you do all that practice, and then when the time comes and you pull the trigger and a decision is made, when you face an obstacle further down the line, you will be able to just sit back, not panic, and be like, okay, this is just one problem that I did not account for. Let's brainstorm and solve it. And then the good thing is that because you're so into that kind of mindset, even when you're dealing with problems, you will now start to anticipate even more problems. Dealing with a real-life problem is always a great opportunity to fix things. A problem is nothing but a red flag. The world is telling you that something is not quite fine-tuned. Don't panic, don't destroy everything, just try to understand exactly why that happened, and then try to challenge your ideas, your solutions, in such a way that it's less likely that another problem will show up anytime soon. The more problems you anticipate, the less problems you'll have to solve. So always try to destroy your ideas. Always try to ask for feedback on what you're thinking of doing. Especially negative feedback. That's the one that is useful. Positive feedback feels good, but negative feedback does good.